Greetings, everyone! Welcome to our first of 3 preview live streams kicking off the season for Arduino Days, which is coming up on March 27th and 28th. We have our first guest, Giovanni Bruno of Arduino, who is a Robotics and Solutions Architect, basically the Arduino person, or the robotics person at Arduino, or the Arduino person at Robotics.
I'm a
either way.
robot based on Arduino. Yeah, something like that.
And my friend and frequent collaborator, David, with whom we have another show called Glow, which this is sort of like a cool offshoot. Anyway, very excited to be helping promote Arduino Days, getting very excited for what's coming up. So you can find local events around Arduino Days, including workshops, demos, and things like that, all kinds of stuff going on here. Giovanni has a personal website, which, as is always the case with nerd websites, you know, we could all use an update, but there's some really cool stuff on there with previous robots. Here's David's and my regular show, Dayglow, and then also we'll be talking a lot about the Arduino Alvik robot, which is a wonderful little bot that we actually explored on our last Dayglow episode. So without further preamble, welcome, Giovanni. Good morning, David. And why don't you kick us off?
Sure. So Giovanni, I'm trying to remember how long we've known each other. Did I know you before you started Arduino, or I think I feel like I met you through the Pizza Robotics team rather than Arduino. But how long have you been with Arduino, and what were you doing? What brought you to Arduino?
Yeah, it's been 3 years now, more than 3 years now. So I entered Arduino with the Alvik project, so our educational robot. But I think that we know before, because Pizza Robotics started in 2021, maybe, with Maker Faire Rome. I'm probably using Ubi as a cross point to touch each other. So yeah. So I think that that one is the point. Obviously, social networks and the other are the coolest stuff when you want to meet lots of people that have your same interests. So
Yeah,
So-
shout out to Ubi. Hopefully he's watching. But I remember when I came to Turin to the office to visit with Massimo, it was all very top secret. And you were working on something that I wasn't allowed to talk about. And there was something on the desk there. And we can talk about it now. But I remember like when I came in, I want to say October of 2023, was it 2024?
Yeah, it is. It was, I think, the 2023 because it was on 2022. It was the final contract. So 2023 I started on January, and then all the year was doing Alvik. On October we were almost ready with Alvik. We had lots of prototypes. The final one. In fact, then we officially released it, I think, at BET, that generally is on January, but is the most important conference and event for educational products. So it is in UK. And then on March, I think that we released it officially as purchasable device. So almost 6 months after that.
So, we love this thing so much.
Yeah, thank you for loving the little Alvik.
I remember coming to the office and you were literally assembling prototypes, and you showed me around all of the different pieces that you were working on and how all of it worked. And it's really cool to be able to hold it in my hands.
Yes. Yeah, probably you have seen something like that.
Yeah, you brought a bunch of interesting things, didn't you?
This one is a carrier, an Alvik carrier, the one that you have when you buy a robot. I can show you here. Just switch camera. And yes, this is so generally you see this one, but when now I'm noticing that everything is just mirrored, but the inside is this one. So lots of people doesn't dismount the robot. So I think that this could be quite interesting to look how Alvik works inside. So when you use your Alvik, you have a nano, and this is your entering point with the robot, because you use the USB on the nano to charge the robot, interact, and program it. But instead, there is another microcontroller that is the real brain of the robot, because it's the one that makes all operation possible. So as you can see, there is the microcontroller and then the motor driver. It is the one that gives the power to the motor that are connected here on these two connectors. And you have also the encoder. So this little microcontroller can compute the position of the robot and all the controllers required for the speed and position controls of the wheels. And then these huge metal clips are for the battery. And here, this messy part of all components is the part to manage the battery. So there is a little chip that is the BMS. This one is the one that protects your battery from overcharge, overcurrent, and also the inversion of the battery. When we designed Alvik, we had some constraints that we pointed with our UX team. It was the one of changing batteries, because generally teachers that use this kind of tools, we can say, at school would like always to use them for long sessions or have multiple classes. So they want to swap batteries without charging them. They want to charge externally. We were developing the robot, and we didn't understood that we made a 6-hour lifespan robot. So, so we added this one, and this is why you can access the battery just removing this lead with a Phillips screwdriver.
Wow. And that came out in really handy for us during our Dayglow show the other week, because not only when you're running a workshop with lots of kids, like lots of workshops in a row, but also for us, like we hadn't necessarily touched these things in a couple of months, and the batteries had an issue. So being able to swap them out really easily and quickly made it so that we could like get right back on with the hacking and not have to like, you know, try and mess around with all this horrible stuff to try and replace the battery. It's awesome.
Yeah. The only point that you need always to keep in mind, or better to say 2 points. The first one is that you need to re-enable the BMS when you swap batteries. When the BMS read that there is a battery, it goes in a sort of hibernation mode. So you need to replug via USB. It detects that there is a voltage in. It does a check on the battery. If everything is okay, say, okay, now I'm enabled, and it works. so that is the point. And the other one is that you think to not use Alvik for lots of months. It's better to remove the battery.
Makes sense.
If discharge due internal consumption or something like that, the battery won't charge after a lower level. So if it goes under 2 volt and something, 2 volt and 2 volt and 1, I don't remember which one is the protection limit, it doesn't charge anymore. So it is a sort of safety measure. Probably we try to do lots of safety, but it is too much.
It's definitely something that I should be doing anyway, though. Like, that's on me. You know, I should be taking the batteries out of all my electronics when I'm not using them, but, you know, there it goes. Anyway, I love that you're giving us this all this in-depth info on using the Alvik, but you've also got more cool little hardware things to show us, don't you?
Yeah, I want just to show you something that we often say in our documentation, that is modularity of the sensor bar. But we have never produced it at the sensor bar. You can't buy another sensor bar for Alvik. The sensor bar is the frontal sensors, so the one that include the ER sensors for line follower and the time of flight sensor. Time of flight, there is a matrix 8x8.
Yeah.
And so it is a distance sensor. We avoid to use ultrasound sensor because generally they don't work. they don't work very well when you are in a noisy environment or outdoors. So, or the object that where the sensors are mounted is too fast. So I would like to show you a prototype. There is this one. This one is a panel that we produced for. It is a prototype. In the beginning era of Alvik, maybe David remembers this because it's one of the choices that we had, where you don't have the matrix sensor, but you have 3 different sensors. There are 3 linear sensors. They are the VL53, L1 something. Are the same one that we used on Nikla Vision board. And also the interesting thing is that why we said always modularity, because on these connectors we have different protocols that you can hack, changing the firmware inside the Alvik. So this library should be already included if you go scrapping the Alvik carrier library on Arduino libraries GitHub. Because you should see that there is a sensor bar.h and sensor bar TOF. There is the matrix one. And the thing is that you have different GPIOs that can be configured also as SPI or as I2C. So you can theoretically make your sensor bar, if you want different sensors, like placing cameras or, for example, thermal sensors. So one of the first things that we said is, okay, let's use this modularity to test different time of flight to check which one is better. And obviously the matrix is one worked better, so we choose that. And yes, so this is Alvik. We have lots of sensors here, a bunch of sensors. You have the color sensor with lots of tricky that can label the colors. You have the IMU that is placed here. These are the integrated circuit. Then this one is the one that manage the touch buttons. So, and then you have the LEDs that are mounted on the other side. Then group connectors. You have also the switches, because you can switch the I2C on the rear connector. This one is a feature that probably we didn't document it. Is for people who want to ask that you can switch the I2C from the Nano directly to the STM32. So if you want, for example, to add advanced sensors like digital odometers, like the optical flow sensors, you can directly add the STM32, adding them to the filter, for example. So we tried to having this modularity and keeping the points that we had in the origin of the project. So having a version, an Arduino robot that you can use with MicroPython, but the MicroPython version, there is the upstream one. So without any rebuilding or custom building, custom libraries, you have just a module that you can install on it. There is the classical Arduino Alvik and Pi. And then to have precision moving. So this is why we placed another microcontroller to keeping everything there, so you are sure that it works very well. And this is the hardware. Then when we did the software, I think that you have seen the different controls. You can say that there are 3 main categories of usage of the robot. The first one is the one where you have the position control, we can say. You have the command rotate and move. So you use the robot as a turtlebot, the old turtle in Logo language or Scratch. Mm-hmm. And they are inspired by that languages where you have the move straight on rotate of the cat in Scratch. So you can use the robot and say move, and you can move of the distance or rotate of the angle that you want with different units. So if you are American, you can say inches or feet. And if you are the correct side of the word with unit measure, you can say millimeters, meters, centimeters. Yeah,
it's all burger robotics over here, no pizza robotics.
Yeah,
which I have dug up, by the way, if y'all want to talk about
yeah,
that
yeah,
at all.
yeah. Pizza Robotics is my collective with such other robotics engineers that are very cool guys. We all works in robotics field, and generally we are under this hat that is called Pizza Robotics during events like Maker Faire or other ones.
Very cool.
Yeah, in the past we had also a YouTube channel, so we made lots of things.
Ooh.
And yeah,
but yeah, you've got this. I've been showing this API documentation on the Arduino pages because this blew my mind when I first got the Arduino, and I say this every time I do a video about it, where it's like, I started doing an unboxing about this on Hackster's channel on hackster.io, and as I dug into it, I was like, wait a minute, they say that this is like a beginner-friendly robot, but like, you didn't have to go this hard. Like, there's this sensor, like you were talking about, has not only just in front of it, but also like to the sides and up and down, and the wheels have position sensors and stuff, and there's all this, and there's Lego Technic and like N3 holes on here. There's like, you didn't have to put all that stuff in, but you did, and it's very well documented in the API page, which is just amazing.
Yeah, thank you. And also, there are lessons. So if you want to learn robotics, we have lessons for MBlock, MicroPython, and maybe only some examples in Arduino. But the focus was MicroPython for this project and blocks. So
we love MicroPython, so
yeah, because it is interactive. The point is that I hate MicroPython. Ubi will say, "Oh, you badass," etc. But the thing is that I tried to take the better from MicroPython. MicroPython is slower than pure compilation, etc., because there is the interpreter. But the interesting point that I think there is a very valid point is on STEM is the interactivity. Mm-hmm. So if you have an Alvik and you do Alvik begin in a terminal in the repo, you can just interact with robot without coding it. So if you want to understand how you measure distances, because you want to learn how works the time of flight, you just do Alvik.getDistance. And then you say, okay, 10 centimeters. Then you move your hand and press arrow up, enter, and it do again the measurement and say, okay, 12 centimeters. Okay, I'm learning how it works. Or if you want to move motors, you can do that. And you say, oh, it's crazy. And you can do all this interaction without coding. So if you are a very newbie, so like children, you can do all this interaction without coding and without understanding, for example, what is a while loop, what is if, or other concepts of coding, but just need to understand, okay, this function allow me to get distance, this other function moves motor, this other function get me the color where the robot is placed down.
Alex just caught it. I was just going to say, it's happened again. If you say Ubi's name, he appears. It's happened again, just like last time. And there's a bunch of other Arduino folks I see comments from, and also potential spoilers of upcoming guests that we're going to have. Not really spoilers, but...
Well, you can look at the chat, folks, and see if you can spot who's going to be next on the hot seat.
But Giovanni, I feel like you're on your way to make an amazing segue into something that might make it even easier for people to use an Alvik than what you've already shown.
No.
David showed me photos of these two, and like having adventures across Europe and other places, and just like the vibe is incredible. You clearly are used to sort of trolling each other and stuff. It's great.
We've had some adventures. At one time, we ended up in like a subterranean bookstore / bar.
Obviously, yes.
Anyway,
during Maker Faire, we were in this awesome cafe. We can say it was a literal cafe, cultural one. They were painting. It was the night that they were painting. I think
they were doing live art,
live painting with live music and lots of books. And David started reading in Italian.
Yeah.
So it was sounding very cool. It was sounding very cool. They say, okay, let's translate this one. Yeah, it was almost everything, and no AI was used. So
correct. Regular human intelligence. Yeah. However, we got about 10 minutes to go. So I wanted to 7 minutes to go. So I wanted to make sure we do get to Arduino Days, which is the reason for the season. So perhaps you'd like to share some of what a little sneak preview or any kind of taste or what you're excited about for Arduino Days. I know I'm excited about Arduino Days. I don't know if we grabbed the tab for that, but I wrote on Hackster a little thing about Arduino Days, what it's meant to me in the past and what I'm excited about.
Let me pull that up.
Giovanni, you're our guest. Let's hear what you're excited about.
So obviously last week I was in Nuremberg with the other guys from Arduino team, and we just released our most biggest and powerful board, the 21Q. So Arduino Days will rely lots on 21Q and also on our UNO-Q, that is our UNO with the Qualcomm processor and STM32 microcontroller, so our dual brain board. And just talking about what I will explain there during Arduino Days will be something very interesting about robotics with 21Q that is lots of power for robotics and machine vision, and also about this little tiny hack. So how to use the UNO-Q in robotics. So how to hack an Alvik with an UNO-Q. So enhancing all the features that you have on Alvik, like the movementation, the sensors, and ROS. So here you run ROS2 SLAM using the UNO-Q. If you want, I can show you this one more in detail.
Yeah.
Sure.
So the hack is, I think, already available, because if you go on GitHub, there is a public branch that is called UNO-Q on Alvik carrier. Oh, little detail, here there is a micro USB. On the classical Alvik board, here there is a micro USB footprint, but we don't mount this micro USB. But if you want to hack, it is connected directly to the STM32. So you can, and also you can charge via this micro USB. It was used during the debugging of the robot. It was a simple way to do that. So here you have a quick cable. I removed the power and it's connected to the UNO-Q. So Alvik software, the communication is based on serial. So you have serial communication between the Nano SP32 and the STM32 microcontroller inside the carrier. In this case, to be simpler, because it is a sort, we call it this one Alvik Q DIY, because it is 3D printed stuff, just custom boards, a micro USB hub attached on the back, this USB with 2 cables that comes from internal, because here you can have the 5 volts on the pins from the battery, because there is a step up inside the Alvik. So this version USB for the LiDAR, it is a very cheap one. It is one that you can buy on AliExpress for $20 generally.
Oh, wow.
The LD06 is a very cheap LiDAR, so it's quite affordable. And yeah, and there is a CSI camera here. but it is just a prototype board that I used to connect the camera for having video streams, but it relies mostly on the LiDAR. And yeah, you have these branches. So with the custom firmware, all commands that you give on serial with the UC pack, the transport layer is not anymore the serial, but it is the I2C. So using that one as a quick, we can say a quick carrier, we can interact with Alvik, and also we can use AppLab. There is our latest IDE, the one that you can use programming Python and the Arduino Sketch. So there is an Arduino Sketch that manages the communication with the Alvik. So for example, the command drive, and it is the third step that you can have in the Alvik libraries. I was telling you before, you have move and rotate, simple turtle commands. Then you have the part section moving, like move left wheel and right wheel, or this kind of operation. And then you have the full robotics one, the unicycle controlling velocity. So you have the linear and the angular velocity. So you have these three layers of approach to robotics. So you can control them. And via AppLab, you can interact with ROS. So you have the WebUI bricks that allow you to have remote control. And then you have an external Docker container that runs ROS2 with Cartographer and the LiDAR. So with that one, you can have the map. And this is a showcase that we are just showcasing at events like BET this year or last week at Embedded World. And we love to experiment and make prototypes. So I want just to show you another one that we made. It is not a product. It is just another proof of concept that removed the STM32 that we have inside the Alvik with a totally new carrier. With this psychedelic design by Fabio Ferrero. I love his silks. So
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, Fabio is our designer for silks. So the silks are the designing part. So the one that has the descriptor of components on a PCB. So it makes this one. So it is totally different from the original one that is squared. So you have this one. And you have this one, the psychedelic one. And it is quite cool because in this version, we removed, for example, the classical groove connector and quick connector. You already have the quick on the UNO-Q that is connected to the STM32 microcontroller. And we used a USB connector. So if you want to add USB webcams, you can. And you can also add, for example, leaders. And you have still the servo here on the back. And I want just to show you something that is how to enhance sensors. I remember that, Alex, you told me before, you have a complex sensor that like the time of flight. But on Alvik, we do the communication between the two microcontrollers. We cannot share the entire matrix 8x8 because there are too much data.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because you have like three.
So this is why you have So you have the bottom, so you can understand if you are if your robot is going down a table, or you have the top, so you can understand if the robot fits inside the tunnel. And then you have 5 measurements: the left one, the right one, and then all the middle. So the center left and center right, and the center one. The center one is the classical one used. This is interesting because using directly the microcontroller on the UNO-Q and sharing data through the QRB with Python, you can look this thing. I don't know if it's quite good, the division.
Oh, yes.
But you have all the data from the time of flight.
Look at the
heat
map.
Shown here. So you can do also machine learning.
Wow.
On this image, you see my fingers, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. So they are on the LED matrix.
What?
Yeah. Whoa.
So you can do this kind of operation. And this is quite useful for us because we can understand really which are the possibilities and the capabilities of our new products with this dual brain architecture. Obviously, during Arduino Days, you will see also something based on 21Q. That is more powerful and still with dual brains.
Are you using these connectors on the bottom?
On this one, yes. I want just to show you the full panel. So this is the prototype panel that we have here. So this one is the USB. Yeah. So you have this one. There is the top layer where with the connectors. The high density connectors that we have, the one that are 1.27 millimeters gap, we have the high speed interfaces. So we place two CSI cameras, so you can connect directly into the carrier, and a display. So you can also add a little display if you want with the MIPI DSI. And yeah, we removed the touch buttons because there was no place out there to fit them. But we added the joystick and buttons here. Yeah. Also, we added the full color LEDs. We have this one. They are the same one on Modulino pixels. And on the bottom, we removed lots of things because this robot should be a machine vision robot. So we have a bigger power button, a bigger power switch. You can see they are the same connectors. And we have this one is not anymore the STM32, but it is the USB hub for the USBs. Yeah. And we have here the motor driver, and it is practically the same, but you can see that there are less components because it is mainly on the UnoQ. Lots of components are there. So yeah, this is quite useful. We added also a microphone here. There is still the Captain, the production Captain. Yes, this one is better. So this one is a microphone. Connected directly to the UnoQ. So you can do, for example, keyword spotting, audio detection on robots. So in our idea is, okay, we can test, for example, Alvik, move forward, and the robots are moving. So yeah.
And this one is just a prototype, just a
yeah. This is not a product. It is just something that we want to showcase during events as what you can do with the UnoQ in robotics.
Very cool.
And Alvik, I think that Alvik is a good reference because it is very small. So you can show how much power the UnoQ can give in ratio of this small footprint, and also the capabilities of the dual brain. I think that one is the winning point of the board.
That LED matrix demo is mind-blowing. That's ludicrous.
Yeah. It is quite fun because lots of people during events starting doing, oh yeah. Also because I think that in the video is not possible to see, but you can detect if, for example, no, because it is everything white. Yeah. But for example, you can detect you can detect the orientation of the finger up. That's so cool. because obviously being a depth matrix that you have, you can detect, for example, fingers and then the end or end, flat end.
Right.
So you can detect which is the orientation of the end.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah.
I just love seeing these hacks and stuff. It's so cool. I am getting trolled a bit.
Yeah, you can build the DIY. You can hack your Alvik and build the DIY version. It is the same. You can
I think we should make some
for like 3D printed stuff to put on here. So
I'm thinking we should make some alternative faceplates. I think we should make a dark Alvik with like a Oshpark After Dark faceplate that hacks your firmware if you install it into the robot. Or
yeah,
I've definitely been plotting about a black furry robot with big eyes and stuff. It's but those would mostly hide the internals. I absolutely love the idea of doing like a dark mode.
If you put my screen on the sharing,
Yes.
yeah, I'm showing you something.
Mind, sorry.
This one is the firmware that is inside the carrier. It is based on Arduino language. It is the STM32 Arduino. Is the core from ST Microelectronics. Probably if we will do again, it will be based on Zephyr, because we are moving all our cores to Arduino Zephyr. And I think it's a wonderful project. Let's have a check on that. So we are using Zephyr on a layer. For which one which doesn't know, Zephyr is a real-time OS. It's open source. It's from Linux Free Software Foundation. And we are building our Arduino core on that. The Arduino core is all the things that allow you to build your sketches and run it. So everything now we are running on Zephyr, or probably the next Arduino Alvik carrier could be on that. So if you go in examples, you can find firmware. And the firmware is the one that is preflashed into your Alvik. So if you check, these two headers are the one for the sensor line and sensor TOF matrix. Is the one that I said before when I showed you the prototype of the sensor bar. And obviously in source you can find this one. So it is the relies on the L7 sensor. That is the one that we use. And if you hack this one, you can practically do all the things that you want, because if you can run, for example, an Alvik without the sensor bar, because in the firmware you can just say, we can just comment this line, T of begin. With this one, the time of flight will never start, so it will never publish it. And you have this structure of the code that is just code based. So you have some codes, and every code is a functionalities, and relies on a very simple packing protocol that is called UCPack. So you can do all these things there. And yeah, you can hack it, and we do it with you. So for example, if you want to use directly the STM32 and test motors, you can flash this one. And you can flash it via MicroPython, because you have the flasher. It's a script that is here in github.com. Not Robocane. Robocane is another thing. Arduino, Alvik, and Pi. So here you have these utilities, and you have flash firmware.bat or sh. And this one is the one that you just open the terminal, you run the scripts, drop your firmware, and it flashes your firmware directly without doing any particular things. So using this combo, you can customize your Alvik. And this one, for example, set references of the motor. This one is the one that we use to test if the control loop are okay.
Yes. I need this because I've been trying to do a very precise usage of the wheels, which is like the wrong way to use them, which is like using them to turn a pulley so that I could do a grabber based on it. And I was having trouble with drifting, but if you can like recalibrate it and as you go on the fly, maybe.
Let me check if I have something on my desktop. Yes. I have never shared these, but maybe.
It's a worldwide experience.
I feel so lucky right now. It's just so
I know.
cool.
Like, can we do another stream?
I know.
Seriously. Is this one? I have never published it. Maybe I should add on printables. It is a wheel that you can connect to Legos, and as rubber part, the tire you can make with an O-ring. So you just buy the O-ring. It is a standard O-ring. I don't remember
perfect
how many was, and you can connect both the cross type bars or the studs. I don't remember. Yeah, the Lego Technic.
Yeah.
I have my terrible, crappy version here, but I hadn't thought about. I was afraid to like yank too hard on the wheel, so yeah. Okay, so it's okay to like pull pretty hard on the wheel to get them off, because that was scaring me. I'm kind of derailing us. We need to like do another stream, obviously another day. Like David.
Other fun fact on Alvik and the wheels, the motors. Some people say Alvik is very slow. Yeah, it is true, because it is a robot where we tried to achieve the best on the precision moving, and we can only rely on the wheels. So wheel odometry, if you are fast, you add the drift effect, it is difficult. Also, there is a robot for children on a desk. So where you maybe need to press something on the top with the touch button. So it is quite difficult.
Yes.
To trust on it.
You're optimizing for all kinds of different stuff.
So it is slow enough. So it is fast enough, we can say. But obviously, if you want to be more competitive, you can buy any N20 motor, the one that you can find from Pololo, you can buy on AliExpress, Amazon, everywhere, with a different gear ratio. We use it, I don't remember if it is the 100 to 1 or 150 to 1. I don't remember which one is. It's written in the code, so we can check that.
But we'll pester you about that later for sure. What's up, David?
I just made so the list is I'm going to make an evil faceplate and then a hot rod one with faster motors, and then stick a Uno.
I really want to know what.
I
really want to know what you would put on your dark mode Alvik, David.
What's that?
I really want to know what you would put on your dark mode Alvik.
What the face would be?
Sure.
I think it would just be the same thing, but just angry.
yeah.
Have some little eyebrows going down, like and a little like.
I love a robot with eyebrows.
One idea when we showcased that the Alvik Uno, the one with Babashu is the internal name of the board, the carrier. We said, probably we can make a more aggressive Alvik, because we want to show that it's powerful. So we started doing this kind of sort of concepts of saying, okay, we can make the eyes in this way with this scared mouth. Then we left the
This sounds like a contest in the making, honestly. I would love to see like a whole event around that. But before we dream too much, I want to make sure that we do plug our wonderful sponsors, Arduino, for bringing us all together. I'm so excited. And this awesome event that's coming up March 27th and 28th. That's next week. So there's all kinds of cool stuff going on. You can see more cool talks about robotics and stuff. There's links to each individual day on the main page, also linked in the description to this video. You can just go ahead and sign up for those now so that you get a notification when they go live for each day. And then also check out local events. There's workshops, there's demos, there's all kinds of different like watch parties and stuff going on around the world. You can find something local to you, or I think you still have time to organize one. Am I right?
Well, I think the deadline was yesterday, but the form's still working, so keep trying.
Yeah, nobody's going to stop you.
If you've got an event, I'm sure we can squeeze it in.
Yeah. If you want to organize, I think that it will be crazy, because on our side, there are lots of people in the marketing that are going, oh no, there is a new one. But probably. Arduino is a community, and we are proud of this community.
Everyone do your part to stress out the Arduino team. And then we've been talking about, you brought up the Ventuno Q. I can speak a couple of times. And then also there is this ongoing event with Hackster.io, Infinite Future with Arduino Uno Q and App Lab, which you mentioned a couple of times. We've been talking about the Arduino Alvik, this wonderful robot. And I love this exploded diagram that I showed real quick on here. That's from that website. There's also the store page, which varies depending on where you are. Here's Giovanni's page again, with this adorable hedgehog bot, which someday I'll have to ask you about. Dayglow, which is David's and my show. We do it on both of our channels, so if you can't see some of the comments, that's why. Pizza Robotics, which came up a couple of times. And then there's all these different GitHub repos and stuff with different material that Giovanni was showing us.
Started. I want to say just check our GitHubs, because there are lots of things that you can find inside. Generally, we, being an open source company, we do lots of open source work. So if you check on our GitHub, you can look, for example, to something strange in our branches. Or you can, like the Alvik carrier, that you can find Uno Q branch and say, what? Or you can check, for example, new features, because we are adding new features to Alvik or something like that before that they are already published.
That's funny. I'll tell you, I actually watch a lot of the repos, and I watch the emails come, and I'm like, oh, new documentation for what now?
These are pro tips.
We are
insider info.
And I want also to say another thing about Arduino Days and 21Q. 21 in Italian means 21,
right.
And this one will be the 21st birthday of Arduino.
Oh, age of majority. That's awesome. Well, congrats. When is it's already been announced, so I guess happy 21st. But is there like an official? I mean, I know that you've had Arduino Days on multiple, like I went to one in Chicago that David was also at like a few years ago, which was I think on a different date. Is there like an official date that you consider Arduino's birthday?
Yeah, I think so, because I'm not an expert, we can say, on that side. But I remember that last year we made a party during Arduino Days, because there were it was the 20th birthday of Arduino. So I think that, yes, maybe it's not the exactly day, but it is the period, the right period.
Observed.
That's right. There's some terrible photos of me. You had a cake at the one in Chicago a few years ago, and I ate the Arduino logo off the top. It was made of fondant. It was awful. Do not recommend, but it was good.
It was a collectible.
Yeah. Well, I saved someone from having to ship it back to Italy.
Bring that one in acrylic thing, plexiglass, and then put in a vacuum stuff.
Should have cast it in resin. Instead, I nommed it. Sorry. Well, everybody, go to days.arduino.cc and look out for our other 2 events we will be announcing coming up this Thursday, the 19th, and next Monday, the 23rd. Very excited to have a couple more guests on. And oh, what's up?
Just breaking in the comments, Ubi says March 21st is the official. March 21st is the birthday, officially. And you can remember it because it's the first day of spring.
Ubi coming in clutch. We got to get everyone together at some point. Yes. Okay. Well, everyone, we could go on forever, but I'm going to have to cut us off because...
Please do. Please. We're already 18 minutes over.
David and I will go for multiple hours. Anyway, everyone go to days.arduino.cc on your screen here. Just like do the thing and check out all the events. And we'll see you soon with a couple more events, little live previews over the next couple of weeks. And then March 27th and 28th is the date. Have an awesome rest of your day or night and hack on. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone who joined us. Yeah.
Enjoy. Bye-bye.